guys, let's see who's next. Be nice to get a fire sign. There we go, Leo. Because I say, we have not had any fire signs yet. So, Leo, this is your reading. Whenever you're meant to find this reading is when you're meant to find it. Trust the universe, trust everything, because you're drawn to this. Whatever energy you're in at the moment, that is what draws things to you. Okay, so trust in the process that when you're meant to watch this reading is when you're meant to watch it. Okay, so we have the Ace of Cups, the Death card in reverse. Interesting. Everybody seems like they're getting the Death card in every single reading, so it just must be the energy right now. Things ending or things that we're not letting end, because a lot of them are in reverse. So we'll get to that. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, guys. Tower. Everybody seems to be getting that too. Whoa. Hello, hello. Okay, and the Knight of Pentacles. All right, so Leo, this is your reading. And we have the Hierophant on the bottom. That's Taurus energy. This is like faith or a lesson or some kind. It could also be mean marriage. Somebody being very stubborn. I know Tauruses are very stubborn. Could be a Taurus. Take it as it resonates, guys. So that's another thing too. Don't make it make sense. Not every Leo could be going through the exact same thing every other Leo is going through. But I'm here to tell you the energies that you're in right now, so you can make better decisions, see something in a different way, different light. I do not predict the future. So, like I said, don't make it make sense, guys, okay? So if it's not for you, just leave it for somebody else. You want something specifically detailed to you, my email is in the description box. So let's get to it. We have the Ace of Cups. So aces on the Tree of Life are on the top. They're not tainted. They're of God, of Spirit. You can see God's hand is in this card. He's holding your cup. This is the Lord of Inspiration. It is a fire. You're a fire sign. Sorry about that. It's not the Lord of Inspiration. This is the Lord of Love. This is water. And I don't know why I thought that was Leo. What am I doing? Probably just because your energy. Ace of Cups is water signs, which is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. It's about emotions, maybe even psychic development, feelings, intuition, love, creativity, and inspiration. So this is like new love. It's a new cycle. The aces are the biggest change cards. So there could be a big change after maybe an ending or after maybe a change. So this is also change and transformation, okay? Something that was shocking. And it could also be with an air sign. Or air sign, earth sign. What is it with me? I keep getting these screwed up. Just the elements, though. It's very interesting. This is an earth sign, guys. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. It could be with a Taurus, definitely, because you have the Hierophant on the bottom, but this is also Virgo. So take it as it resonates, guys. But this is a change card. It's new love, or it could be also like a new psychic development. Like I said, some of you could be very intuitive right now. It also could be creativity, inspiration, or just a new feeling, a new emotion. So that's great. So now we have the Death card in reverse. This is Scorpio energy, and in reverse, what that means is that it's on its lower polarity. So everything has a high polarity, everything's at a low polarity, right? So this is number 13 in the Major Arcana. So anytime there's a Major Arcana that's in reverse, it means that you're going through a life lesson. And it seems like this is everybody's going through this right now, Leo. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, of course, we're all going to be ultimately in the universe the same energy, but kind of cool. Let me look at it that way. So this can mean death of something physically. Not necessarily, though. It could also just be like an involuntary change. So something that you did not want, or maybe it's something you didn't ask for, something that is very difficult. Also with fear, could be fear of a change, fear of an ending. But death poisons us. And there's nothing. Okay, so the reason why it poisons us is because we constantly think of that ending, or constantly think of like physical death or whatever. It's worse than the actual ending or the actual death itself. Okay, so why that is because for us to live in constant fear all the time, fear of an ending, fear of change, fear of anything, or that means that we would be afraid to live. So like if you're in a relationship, let's say, and then you're so worried about, well, I don't want it to end, I'm so scared for it to end, then you're going to be stuck in that mindset, and you're not going to enjoy what's going on at that moment. Okay, so that's what they mean by this, that it stunts life. Okay, so to fear of an ending or be afraid of something means that we won't actually enjoy anything, right? We won't enjoy the things that we're going through right now because we're so scared of the change, or so scared of the loss. It's just not worth it at all, because then what is the point? There's no point in it, right? So or it could also be that you're not letting go of a past or an ending, and just that fear. Okay, so you need to let that go, definitely. So then what happens is the Tower moment happens. The Tower is another major arcana card. This is when something is not built on a stable foundation, and this building can't hold this building anymore. So what happens is the universe will come in, strike it with one bolt of lightning in the crown chakra, and then it'll bring this building to its very knees. You can see these two people that are falling from the building because, you know, it's chaotic. It's it's shocking. It's like something that we weren't expecting, I guess you could say. So what that means is the universe gives us options within this time frame to change the way we're looking at something, change the way that something's happening. And if we do not change it when it's supposed to change, or we don't let an ending change, or you're so worried about the ending that you're not living, then the universe will come and, you know, bring this to its very knees. It's shocking. It's not something that we want, right? So this is number 16, and the major arcana 16 could be significant. Also 6 plus 1 is 7, so you could be seeing 7s. You could be life path 7. They could be, take it as it resonates. But this is Mars, fire, energy. It reveals a lot of energy, okay? This is a lot of energy. This is also like a revelation, a change that's sudden and exciting, but maybe also painful. Maybe sudden positive change, and it also could be very shocking, right? So that's when it's time for you to rebuild this on a stronger foundation, and that's why this happens. So then we have the Knight of Pentacles. So all knights are movement, of course, because you can see them on the horses. So horses are moving, and this is Earth sign, which is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn energy, and knights are fire, and pentacles are earth. So fire and earth. So you could be dealing definitely with an earth sign with this. So the Knight of Pentacles are the slowest moving knight in the whole, you know, court cards. This is the Lord of Wild and Fertile Land. So this is Virgo's energy, and it's seeking self-knowledge. Okay, so this knight, he's very solid. He has a dark horse, and you can see like in the background, this is plowed, so it's very solid. Naturally intuitive, close to nature, very intelligent, intellectual. And this is like, so like the Knight of Swords is like, the Knight of Swords would be like intellectual, okay? The Knight of Cups would be like psychic, okay? So this knight he knows when things should happen in tune of rhythmic cycles, because he's so in tune with the earth, right? It's very solid, it's a very solid knight. And, you know, so something could be moving towards you that's more solid now, of course, definitely after this new feeling, this new love, and that change that had happened, that maybe you were afraid of it happening, but it did happen. But, you know, with everything that ends, something begins, right? You know, there was change here. Maybe it was sudden, shocking, but that's to make things more solid, okay? So let's see what else Spirit wants to say. Let's clarify these a little bit. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, guys. I decided to start doing these again. I've been watching other readings, and it's confusing to me. Like, one of them was on a loop, and they kept on saying the same thing over and over again. I'm like, what is going on? And then another one was like, they want you to pick something, but they don't actually show you the cards. I'm like, how are you supposed to do that? I was so confused, but, you know, to each their own. But I just don't. Tarot, to me, is not for exploiting for monetary gain. You know, this is to help people. So, you know, to each their own, like I said. And I do my tarot a little bit different. I want you guys to understand why the cards are coming out. So you can make up your own, you know, story, I guess you could say, of what's going on. Not make up, but, you know, you could see like, okay, well, this is why I got that. Because every Leo cannot be going through what every other Leo is going through. That's impossible. Otherwise we would be robots, you know, we would be, you know, we wouldn't even need these. Everything would just be very systematic, I guess you could say. So the first one we have is the Ten of Wands. Wow. Okay. That all came out, so might as well take them. This is Spirit's name of their game, so I'm just, you know, here to reiterate. So here's the Ten of Wands. So that's at the bottom of the Tree of Life. It's fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. These all were upright. These all came out, guys. It's a lot. Very interesting, very interesting. Okay, so talk about clarification, right, guys? So here, there's a burden, okay? This is, you see that he's carrying all these wands. He's going uphill. So there's some kind of burden here there was some kind of burden here, but 10s are completions too, okay? So this would be Saturn and Sagittarius. So Saturn is the planet of karma, and Sagittarius is kind of like us owning, taking responsibility, being accountable. So this is a lord of oppression, right? You don't have to carry this burden, whatever this is. You don't have to carry this burden, or the wands alone. Spirit's letting you know that you can ask for help, even just spiritually. You can ask for help if you feel like you don't have help. Ask for help spiritually, but just know that you did this on your own accord, meaning that you took too much on. Okay, you probably knew better, or the universe was trying to tell you that, hey, don't do this. But you know, with our stubborn pride and ego, we'll do it anyways, thinking that we can handle it. Well, now it's Spirit's telling you can't do this on your own. You need to ask for help, either from other people or from Spirit. Okay, and then we have the Six of Cups in reverse. So that means it's on its lower polarity. Cups are water signs, which is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces energy. Sixes on the tree life are very beautiful, but this is on the lower polarity, right? So this would be the Sun in Scorpio. So the Sun is the energy of life, right? Things will not live without the Sun. And then Scorpio is the death card. It's the change, it's the transformation, it's the death. So it's kind of like a conflict, okay? So this is the Lord of Pleasure. So in the lower polarity, it means that there's a death force, okay? So somebody's not sharing their emotions, or there's no pleasure, or somebody might be keeping something for themselves. You see he's giving this girl that cup. So in the lower polarity, it's the opposite, right? So somebody might be keeping something for their self or for self, without giving to another. And also this could be with an avoidant, okay? So you could be in a connection or in some kind of situation with an avoidant. An avoidant is somebody who had to learn at a very young age to survive, and the reason why they're avoidance now is because they're used to doing everything on their own, so they're not going to share. Could be somebody who's very, very selfish, okay? But take it as it resonates, guys. But this is an old building, so it has to maybe do with a childhood wound, or it could also be an ex, okay? So it has to do with the past, right? So then we have the King of Swords. Now, this is the only king in the whole entire court cards that's actually facing us, if you can see that. So he's not looking to his left, he's not looking to his right. So he's not looking to his left, to the past, because we can't change the past, right? That would be depression, right? And then he's not looking to his future because we cannot control the future. That would be like anxiety, right? Or, you know, like could be trying to have that control. He's looking dead at us. And that's what Spirit's trying to tell you about the situation, is we need to stay present in this moment. Okay, we can't control things. We can't change things that have happened. They happened. We need to stay present in this moment, otherwise life will pass us up. And that's what I feel like is going on here. I feel like maybe you might be stuck in the past, or maybe worried about the future, and you're not enjoying this present moment right now. What is the point of living? You know, what is the point? It's not about the destination, you guys. It's the journey. You have to stop and smell the roses. You have to appreciate what we have right now. Otherwise, there's no point to this. Okay, it's not about winning. All right, it's about playing the game. And it's not about winning or losing, because if you're so focused on the end result, you're gonna lose, because you're not gonna enjoy it on the way, and then there's no point in it at all then, right? Because at the end, it's over. We're not here anymore. So that's kind of, you know, that doesn't make any sense, right? So this is air and air right here. This is Aquarius energy, but it's unveiling truths behind appearances. It means he sees, right? He has a pure mind. Like, if we are so worried about everything in the past or in the future, it clouds us. It clouds our minds. We're not present in this moment, so we're not able to see things that are going on. We're not seeing things for what they truly are, right? Because our mind is somewhere else. That's why it's impossible to focus on what the moment is right now if our mind is somewhere else. You know, we're here, but mentally we're not. You can't do that, guys. Swords, axes are, you know, our air signs are like our behavior, our mentality, things like that. So if you think of a mirror, it's mirroring the quality of your mind. So you need to be able to have a pure mind. In order to do that, you need to be in this present moment without having the clouds, okay? So this king right here, he's amoral. He's not immoral, which means that he's clear in truth, okay? He's looking at the situation for what it is. He's not looking left or right. He's not looking like to the left of him. He's not looking to the right of him, because then he won't see what's right in front of him. And that's what they want you to do. They want you to start looking and seeing what's right in front of you. Don't worry about what's going to happen. Don't worry about, are you going to lose this? Or are you going to, you know, don't worry about the change coming. Don't worry about it ending. Like, what if I lose this? That's not, if you lose it, it's because it wasn't meant for you, okay? And trust me when I tell you, We always think we know what we want, guys, okay? We think we know what's best for us, but do we really? I don't know, we don't. Just at the moment we do. But if you think about it, 5 years ago, were you the same person? I doubt it. And 5 years from now, you're not going to be the same person. So don't always dwell on what you want and think that that's what's best for you, because we don't know what's best for us. We think we do, but we don't, okay? So just trust in the universe and trust in the situation of what's going on, okay? Now we have the Nine of Cups. Now, nines are an accumulation of its suit, and cups are our feelings, emotions, our relationships. This is on the lower polarity, okay, if it's in reverse. So this is like a wish come true. So this is in reverse, right? So this might be like something that, like I said, like you thought maybe you wanted, or like it didn't like happen the way you wanted it. But this is Jupiter and Pisces. So Jupiter is very expansive. It's a very big planet. Okay, Pisces is like a dreamer, right? So like I said, this could have been something that we thought, or you thought you may have wanted. But this is the Lord of Material Happiness, okay? So this is the wish card. But on the lower polarity, it's telling me that there was like complacency, okay? Or swallowing smoke, if you will. Feeling more like you're missing the whole point of things, okay? And you're not actually accepting the real generosity of the universe. Like I said, because how could you be grateful for things if you don't even know what you have? Like if you're so worried about losing something, or of the future, like I'm so worried about losing this if it ends, or worried about the past if you did lose it, like then you're missing the whole point of it right now. You're not getting the point of like the reason why it didn't work out, or the reason why it had to change, or you're missing you're not seeing the point in it all, or you're not being like you can't be grateful for things in your life right now if you're so worried about the past, or worried about the future, okay? So try to get out of that, guys, because if we're not grateful for things, then we're not going to keep on we're never going to get what we want, never. So here's the Four of Pentacles. I'm not surprised this came out. Fours are like the merit of deservingness, what we think that we deserve, right? It's mercy as well. So Pentacles are earth signs, which is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn energy. And this is the Sun and Scorpio. Or Scorpio, wow. The Sun and Capricorn. Sorry about that. So Capricorn is like very determined, okay? Also like a workaholic, somebody that works. So the Sun, imagine that bringing the energy of the Sun to something like that. It works and works and works and works. So this is the Lord of earthly power, right? So right now you could be learning how to manage things on an earthly level, or you may be holding on to material things, or holding on to an earth sign that maybe is not doing you any good. And this is the reason why I say that. You can see he's planted on these pentacles, right? He's planted, like mine. And then in his mind, that's all he thinks about. And then right here, he's holding that pentacle, not like this, but he's holding it like this. Like the ships will be like mine. And look at what it's doing to him. Like, honestly, look at that. Does he look happy? No, it's causing him misery. This is a card that means that sometimes hanging on does more damage than actually letting go. So you need to let this go. Anything that's yours will be yours. You don't need to hang on to it like this. I'm going to turn this there. I'm going to turn that off so you can see these cards better. And then we have the Knight of Wands. So like I said, all knights are movement and wands are fire. Knights are fire, so this is fire. This is your element, your energy. So there's something, and it's kind of cool how this knight fell on this knight, right? So you definitely could be dealing with an earth sign. So this is Leo. This is your card, Leo. So this is fire and air. So what happens to fire when there's more air? It becomes, like if there's a fire and a lot of air goes to it, it becomes not enraged, but it becomes very alive, right? But this is controlling appetites and passions. So that you have a very big capacity to enjoy life, big and full of self, bold and courageous, kind and brave, and you can survive through the fire. Nice. And you can see like but this is the thing that I'm kind of wondering about, because this conflict here, that change. This knight is moving, or he's going this way, and this knight's going that way. Okay, so you guys could be going opposite directions. Do you see what I'm saying? That's what it kind of seems like here. So now we have the Queen of Pentacles. All queens are specifically good at something, right? The Pentacles are earth signs, which is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Don't get too wound up in like the female, male, masculine, feminine, because we all have these aspects in us, okay? So the earth sign that you could be dealing with, this could be their energy. Also, it could just be yours. Just take it as it resonates, guys, okay? Like I said, but don't make it make sense, okay? So the Queen of Pentacles, her What she's specifically good at is she plays the hand that she's dealt, okay? Meaning that she can turn anything, like the very least amount, into something like abundant. See this whole garden? But this is in a lower polarity, right? So this is Earth, and this is Capricorn energy. So this is a lot of Capricorn energy, a lot of devil energy. That just means that there could be a lot of passion, or maybe a lot of drive or something, or maybe something that's not serving you, okay? But on the lower polarity, this is like somebody who's cheating. Doesn't necessarily mean they're cheating in a relationship. That's not what I mean. Cheating could mean like trying to cut corners, or trying to, you know, instead of like for instance, okay, if you, for dinner, okay, like let's say you're like, I'm gonna make dinner. Everybody thinks you're gonna make dinner from like scratch, right? You're gonna make mashed potatoes and gravy and all that stuff, and then you're gonna mix the meat in. But then they look and they see that you just used hamburger helper. That would be like cheating, okay? That's the best thing I could say. I could put it up. Or somebody could just be cheating in this relationship. I don't take it as it remains. But it also could mean like somebody who's not playing the hand at all, right? You get dealt a hand and then they're like, no, I don't want to play. But this card does talk about home, and it's the best businesswoman. So in reverse, it's just on the lower polarity. You know, this is person on the higher polarity, it's like perseverance, grace, nurturing. But on the lower polarity, it's not. They're cheating. They're not playing this hand at all. This person on the higher polarity, they will work their fingers to the bone for those who they feel are worth it. But so in the lower polarity, if this is you or them, somebody feels like this isn't worth it. I'm not going to do that for them. I'm not going to go out of my way, right? So then we have the Wheel of Fortune. This is a major arcana card. This is 10. This is a cycle, right? So something changed, right? Something is changing. Something did change, but it's not in a bad way, because the Wheel of Fortune is up, right? So if it was in reverse, then I'd be like, you know, it's bad karma. But this is good karma. So sometimes endings and changes are here for our better. Even though how can you see that? How could you know it's better for you if you're not looking, if you're not paying attention, right? So this is Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. There's all the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac. The signs of the zodiac mean, the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac mean that is what is in the middle of every single season. So it's steady, it's fixed, right? This is life cycles, a new cycle. Remember that ace, a new cycle. Coming to act, or like coming to, you know, putting something in action. Cycles and everything, karma, upper and lower, there are no accidents. So this is upper. So that's what I'm saying. The karma is good because it's on the higher polarity. If this was in reverse, then it would be the lower polarity, okay? It'd be like there's a cycle that you can't break, but it does seem like there's a cycle that's broken here, and that could be the change. And sometimes we think that that's bad. Some people don't like change, but we have to change. Change is good. It's uncomfortable, it's scary, but it's good for us. We need change because the world is constantly moving, and we're going to have to move with it, or we'll get run over, right? So then we have the 8 of Cups. 8s are seeking solutions on the Tree of Life. Cups are water signs, which is our feelings, emotions, and our relationships. So this is somebody who's walking away. Could be you, or could be your person. It takes it, it resonates, but this is Saturn in Pisces. So this is the Lord of Abandoned Success. So it's time to go interior, okay? It means that you need to really trust your intuition. You need to really go inside and figure things out, okay? And make a decision from how you feel inside. Maybe even a decision to let go, or maybe you're forced to let go. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the universe has a plan. And sometimes we have these karmic situations that come in our life, and we think at the time that it's good for us, and we want it to stay, blah, blah, blah. And we don't really get the lesson that we're supposed to learn from it. Well, if we hang on to it, it's going to cause us misery, because we're supposed to let it go. We're supposed to learn our lesson and let it go. And I'm not talking maybe about a person. This could be a thought process. This could be anything that's not serving you. It doesn't have to be a relationship, but it means that you need to go interior and figure out what's best for you and walk away, or you're going to be forced to, the universe will force you to let it go, okay? And then here, I do want to cover this too, because this came out. Number 5, this is the Hierophant. This is Taurus energy. Now, this was on the bottom. For some reason, they want us to know this, okay? So this is a sense of significant things, okay? So there's meaning behind things, okay? They want you to know that. Here, the symbolism that he's throwing up in his hand, that means what you see is not all that there is. And that's exactly what the universe is trying to tell you. That when there's change, even though it might seem bad at the time, it's always for the greater good of something better, right? This Wheel of Fortune, there's something that's going to be better, or something is going to come out of this. right? You need to let that burden go because somebody is not reciprocating. Somebody's trying, maybe even being selfish, but you're not seeing that. You can't see that because, you know, it's like this is like a wish come true, but you're hanging on to something that's causing you misery, right? So this card is telling you there's a sense of significant things. There's a meaning behind things, okay? It's sacred. There's something very sacred. It's an inner teacher, an inner healing, okay? What you see is not all that there is. And that's the whole point, right? There's two parts of Taurus. There's mind, which is our intellect, and then there's also emotion, right? So that is what Spirit wants you guys to know. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Love and light.